Right, so welcome to Two Cooks in the Kitchen. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Today, we just finally got over 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, and we thank you all so much for coming along on this little wacky adventure with us. So, we are going to make Appam. This is a fermented rice pancake that comes to us from India. When we were in San Francisco recently, well, not that recently, I had this delicious Appam, and it reminded me of injera from Ethiopia, in that it's a fermented bread that's only cooked on one side, and it's just got that sponginess to it. So that's what we're trying to make here. So we are going to start the night before we want to eat this by soaking some rice. 1 cup of rice, 1 bowl, some water. You want to cover the rice. There we go. And it really doesn't matter because you're going to strain the rice off before you do anything more with it. But there you go. So tomorrow we'll have our strained rice. We're going to cook some rice and we're going to ferment it. With this, we'll put it in a blender and then ferment it and cook these delicious pancakes. It's going to be great. All right, so our rice has been soaking overnight. We're going to leave it soaking, and we're going to actually cook some rice too. I'm making a small batch of this Appam batter, so I only need really a half a cup of cooked rice, but I'm going to end up with more than that. I've got 3/4 of a cup of water and a half a cup of rice, and I'm just going to bring this to a boil, let it simmer for 15 minutes, and then we'll let it cool. All right, so I've got my cooked rice, my soaked rice. I put a teaspoon of sugar in this bowl with a little bit of 110-degree water. You just want it, warm enough to activate the yeast. So I'm pouring in here a teaspoon of yeast. And we're going to let that sit while we take care of our rice. So first of all, I'm going to strain off the soaked rice. And I'm going to put that in the blender. Oh,
nice.
Great.
Nobody even got married.
Yeah. And no birds to come pick it up for us.
No, just you and me.
Okay. So I want to get all this. And this, by grinding this up, we're kind of making a rice flour in the blender. And I'm going to put in the cooked rice. So that was a cup of just soaked rice and a half a cup of cooked rice. And a half a can or so of coconut milk. That should be about half a can and a little more. Okay. And this, we're just going to blend for a long time. So we'll come back when this is blended. So it's coming along. It's still really, really gritty. So I'm going to do some more. I put in just a little bit of maple syrup to give the yeast something to eat. And I'm just going to let this go a little bit longer in here. All right, so we've got our stuff all blended up. Going to get it into this bowl. Putting it in a bowl that has a lid because I'm going to want to cover it.
That's the dish strainer.
And this is good and thick, which is fine. I just get it off of this so I can set it down. And rest of it out of the thingamabobber. Thought we had more big spatulas, but I'm stuck using this little one.
It's a dishwasher.
Yeah, this is really fluffy stuff. It's like marshmallow.
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of looks like whipped cream that just needs a little more whipping.
So the traditional Appam is made with an alcoholic beverage, fermented coconut flour, and that doesn't need yeast because it has the fermented beverage in it. We don't have access to that, and so we use yeast. So I'm going to put our yeast mix in here, right along with all of this, and mix it up. And I'm going to let it sit for 3-4 hours, something like that. Now this is a fermented pancake, and you can let this sit overnight if you would like. The longer you let it sit, the more sour it gets. And I just want this to rise up, become fluffy, and make a nice little pancake. So we'll let that sit and we'll come back. All right, look how much our batter has swollen. The little yeasties are doing their job. And this is the point I wanted to get this batter in. Well, I've done this a couple times now, and it puffs up really big and then it deflates pretty quickly. So I wanted to make sure that I got it while it was still puffy. And we're going to cook this one side only. I'm going to cover it, and it should just bubble up and cook all the way through like injera does. I don't know what else to compare it to. It looks like a pancake that's ready to flip.
Right.
But you don't want to flip it. You just want it to cook from one side. Oh, I guess I need a scooper doodad. So we had this at an Indian restaurant in San Francisco that one of our favorite restaurants closed, and another Indian restaurant went in the same place on Fillmore. And I had this, and it was like really, really good. And I'm like, oh man, I have to learn how to make that.
Plus gluten-free.
Yeah, gluten-free for sure, because it's rice. And this works pretty well, doing it this way. And this is what the recipes say to do. And I have some ideas for other ways to make something very similar that we're going to be trying in the near future. But let's see, it's just not quite cooking on top. And so this is one where if you have the heat up too high, the bottom will cook too much and the top won't cook. So kind of got to watch it and play with it.
And call it George.
Call it George. But we'll just carry on with this and see if we get some good ones. Yeah, this is good. It's kind of rubbery on top, but once it cools, it just turns out perfectly. And we'll proceed on and cook another one. You don't need a lot of oil for this or anything. I'll make this one a little bit bigger, I think. But yeah, this is doing the right thing. See, the bottom is just golden. That's what you want. and it's going to soak up our masaman curry. All right, so I can poke this, and if it sticks to my finger, like this is almost done, but it just kind of sticks a little bit when it's not done. So this one is like 5 seconds away from. All right, so our last appam out of the pan. These just came out really nice, just beautiful on the back side. Once they cool a little bit, you can stack them, and so we, this one stuck just a little because I put it on there too soon. But let them cool, and then you can stack them fine. So there you have appam. All right, so it's great to have a bread option that's completely gluten-free, and these are, like injera, these are a bread that will sop up your soup, and which is exactly what we're going to use them for.
And don't forget, we put butter and salt on those.
Oh, we have
before too, and that makes them really good.
We have put butter and salt on these, and then dipped them into curry. They're really good. It's a gluten-free bread option using only rice. Thanks for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen, and we'll see you next time.